Hello and welcome to this brief demonstration of 1-bit logic in StarMade. Today I will just be looking at the bit memory unit I was using in my RAM for my CPU and another version of 1-bit using flip-flops instead of activation blocks. I'll start with the version used in my RAM because that's already been implemented. If we go down here, this little demonstration circuit will be available on community content on starmadedoc.net. So I've basically got two buttons here and a activation blocks to simulate my data read enable and write enable. They're labeled accordingly. And I'll just demonstrate it working before I go through how it works. So first off, the activation block is what's used to store the data. So if I put some data in and then write enable with the button, we see that the data is now stored. Now I clear the data, write enable, and the data is cleared again. So if I put some more data in and read it, you can see there that it's read. Now the way this particular version of RAM works is it keeps a little loop here where the activation block feeds into a delay block that feeds into an AND gate, which is controlled by the NOT of write enable. So if write enable is set, the AND goes false and its data is no longer read from this AND gate. Now there's a second AND gate here. This AND gate comes from the data and the button itself that reads in. So what we've got here is two AND gates, each of which feed into an OR gate, and the OR gate feeds into the activation block. So the way this works is when the RAM is running, the write enable effectively selects which AND gate is active, feeding the OR block in order to feed into the activation block a data value. So if the write enable is not set, its NOT gate ensures that the previous value remains set by activating the feed from the delay block, which is the last one. Now I don't think this is particularly inefficient because I think data is only propagated on change, but if I'm wrong, well then this uses CPU cycles, server cycles every time it runs. Yeah. Now the beauty about this setup is because I'm using an activation block, I can change the value anytime I like by directly accessing the activation block, and that's why I actually have the blocks in the specific order that they are shown here. Now I've also made a version of a 1-bit RAM using the JK block. Sorry, I call it a JK, I'm probably wrong, can't remember, it's just the flip-flop that Shine has implemented. And as you can see from my implementation here, it actually takes no fewer blocks than the activation block version. I'm just going to explain how it works a little bit by looking at the truth table for the flip-flop in question. The way these flip-flops work is they toggle on high. So I've got the little truth table here that tells you what the flip-flop previous data was, what the data coming in, and the expected result of the flip-flop out. The flip-flop can only be changed by a high signal. So if we look at this truth table, you can see that flip-flop in data, the flip-flop actually only changes value when the flip-flop in and data are exclusive order of each other. And so because of that, it's necessary to test the data of the flip-flop coming in, because otherwise you don't want to overwrite a previous value by toggling. So part of the circuit implemented here is a exclusive OR of data in. So data in runs off to the AND and OR gates of the exclusive OR, and the flip-flop itself goes to the AND and OR gates of the exclusive OR. Now with this setup, it's actually reasonably compact. I have, in order to enable the exclusive OR out to the flip-flop, I've actually wired the write enable directly into the AND gate that puts the output. So the exclusive OR module, the two AND gates, the OR and the NOT, cannot actually put out a value or a change unless the write enable says so. So I'll demonstrate that working just now. At the moment there is no data in the system. We'll write some data in, and there it is. I can clear it, and if it's clear I can't put a new value in, and if it's high I still can't toggle it. This is pretty cool because it uses one less block than the previous system. You notice I don't need the NOT gate on the write enable in order to keep a previous value stored. Of course that NOT gate is only required once for an entire circuit of RAM, but in my previous implementation where I had blocks of 64 bits, 8 by 8 bytes, I would have one write enable for the whole block, and I'd have write enables for each block. So like I said in my comments on the community content, that was for aesthetic purposes and ease of modularization. This block does however have a disadvantage over my activation block memory, which is if I clear it, I can manually toggle the JK on, like so, but I cannot toggle it off. I'm not sure if this is a bug. I'm pretty much going to report it as a bug if it hasn't been reported, but it does seem a bit odd that I can toggle a JK on irrespective of the logic going in, but then not toggle it off manually. This means I cannot manually enter a clear value. Oops, clear it. This means I cannot manually enter a clear value the way I can on my activation block 1 bit. So there you have it. That's a brief demonstration of the RAM that I implemented in my CPU, and another variant of RAM that's quite cool but not quite as flexible. Thank you for watching.